Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So I wanted to do a quick review about a movie that I've seen a handful of times, and that is Narcosis. I've spoken about this in my cyberpunk movie collection that I did many years ago. It is a very bad film, very bad. I only have kept this, even though it takes up space, because it's so bad that sometimes I go back to watch it and I think, is it as bad as I recall? Yes. This is an Australian cyberpunk film by Mark Bacchidis. It says on the back it is inspired by The Matrix, cyberpunk, manga, raves, and video games, and is a super sophisticated film with stunning visual effects, and it takes place in 2018. Here we go. So, years ago, I was on a huge cyberpunk kick. I still love cyberpunk movies, mind you. And I went online, I found every cyberpunk movie that I think there was this website called Cyberpunk Review. And I went on and I looked at every movie and anything I found remotely interesting I ordered. At the time, Go Hastings was around and they had pretty much everything and you get coupons and free shipping and you get like any DVDs between like $2 to $5 roughly, shipped. And it was a lot of obscure stuff and weird things and I have tons of it still. But one of the things I ordered that I kept was this. If a cyberpunk movie is really good, I keep it. If it's meh, it doesn't really do much for me, I usually get rid of it. If it's this bad, it's almost like a case study. Um, I do, however, applaud Mark Bacchidis, whatever the hell his name is, for some of his ingenuity in regards to using computers and like old-fashioned graphics to make it look like they're like jacking into the Matrix and doing things. So the movie starts out with what looks like a character select screen and flashes up the person like a avatar of the person completely naked spinning in a circle with like their name and a picture, and it's like the weirdest intro. It I guess they want you to know the people's names without actually saying them. So they show them like a video game select screen. It's like these four people that are you don't get to know. They're not likable, and they pretty much run around, do drugs, shoot people, and make out. That's the extent of the film. I read online something to do with some company called Corporation or IT something that is like putting out these drugs in the movie, and that's the plot synopsis. I didn't get that at all. Um, there's one scene where this, and I'm gonna ruin the movie for you, so spoiler alert. They take this dude, and he gets naked, and he lays on a table, and they start drilling into his face, and he's like dreaming about having sex with a woman who's covered head to toe in glitter, and they inject something into him, and it says like that this virus has been initiated, and you don't exactly know what that means until near the end of the film when he lays on the floor and a robot that looks like something out of like spare parts bursts out of his stomach and crawls across the floor. What that has to do with the movie, I don't know. I was not able to connect what that had to do with the film in terms of the plot. Maybe they're like putting stuff in people and it's killing them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you'll know either. Um, in the end, most of the characters die. None of them are likable. One of them randomly spurts out religious things, but twists them to make them sound futuristic, like "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not fear no evil" or whatever. But he says it, you know, whatever. "The Lord is my webmaster." I'm just giving an example. I shall not fear no megabytes. That's not the wording. I'm making that up. I'm being stupid. But something like that. The whole movie feels like a music video. Constant flashing, techno, leather, half naked people, dicks out, vaginas out, boobs out, some attractive women, but they walk into a club like that Matrix scene, and just like everyone's in like leather, it looks really cheesy, and like a woman's getting her ass like smacked with something. I, I really could not make any sense of it. I know the movie has something to do with drugs. Um, they're doing drugs and they're going around stealing drugs and killing people. That's really all I got. And then this robot that shoots out of this dude's stomach at the end. I'm usually pretty good with movies. Usually I look into them afterwards. Um, and I'll gain something from them. This is just such a weird, bad movie that you almost have to see it to believe it. It's so minimalistic in regards to like the content that it's an hour and 20. It could have been 20 minutes. Um, I've seen like old fashioned B horror movies that run like 60 to 70 minutes. That would have been pushing it for this. And it went over that, which is very weird. I'm trying to think of what else to say. The only thing I would say, like I said, is some of the special effects, like they're using old computers and there's cool little things on the screens. Why is my nose so itchy? Um, that's kind of interesting. Some of that, like if it was filmed better and there was a plot, I think people may like it. But it is so weird. And I want to know if anyone from Australia has seen this. Maybe it's some kind of, I don't know, Australian thing that I just don't get. I love Chopper. I love the Road Warrior and Mad Max. What is this? What is this? I read a review on IMDb that this guy says anytime he watches a bad movie, he forgets about it after a while. But after 5 years, this stayed with him. He gave it a 1 out of 10 and ripped it to shreds. What is this about? Someone explain this, please. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. If you're from Australia, please chime in. If you're not from Australia and you've seen this, Narcosys, did you enjoy it? And why? Did you hate it? My friends and I watched it years ago. We were dumbfounded. Be good.